All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the MDL Major Group Stages, day number 1 here, of course. And we have a Group B matchup now coming at you of VGJ.Storm versus Vega Squadron. Of course, it's a best of 2, as it is for all these group stage matches, thus being the round-robin format that they've chosen. So really excited to be here for this best of 2. We'll be with you for these next couple of series to finish off the day for the MDL Major. I am Breaky CPK, my co-caster for tonight, wherever you may be. Joined by Trent. How's it going, man?
Oh, hello. Good morning. It's going great. Very excited to get back into casting some Dota 2. Fun doing a little bit of remote work for a DPC event. That's always a good time. You know, the comfort of your own home. You got some coffee, and you're up in the middle of the night watching some China Dotes.
I'm not even wearing pants, man. You know, that's just, this
there
is
you
just
go.
go. I mean... We're ready. We're gonna cast some Dota. No, I agree with you there. Obviously, China, a beautiful place and everything, but something about being able to do remote coverage from home is pretty cool. Pretty cool idea. So this should be a fun series, though, mainly because hell, we're working with VGJ.Storm, right? They're I believe just coming off a minor victory. Not really
DPC
so minor.
champions,
Yeah.
I believe, is the term you're looking for.
There you go.
They took but yes, minor victory. Indeed, truly a minor victory. That's almost a bit worrisome. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's super good that you won. Very good stuff, but you gotta like stay super focused because we all know it's a minor. They're frankly not worth that much. You gotta win those majors, man. Yeah. So they gotta stay on that deep grind if they actually want to make something of those DPC points.
That's what they're trying to here. Obviously, both teams actually also coming into this match with a loss. VGJ.Storm lost to their sister team, actually, VG Gaming, in the first match, and then he had. What was it? Vega losing to LGD, of course, 2-0 in both of those. So we'll see how this one shapes up, though. All right, let's start talking about the draft. That was a first-pick Morphling, by the way, followed up by a Doom Skywrath Mage. So they're like, okay, you're going to pick Morphling. We'll get plenty of Silence and a Warlock coming out. But this is a pretty curious start here, Trent.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams are very comfortable taking the Morphling straight up. You know, they are... I think the hero seems to be extremely strong in the right hands. I know like some of the Penta squads have been into it. More of that like kind of like tier 2 Europe sort of an idea have been willing to first pick it for quite a while. So I think the hero was just kind of waiting for the right teams to do the same thing. I think there's a couple tier 1 teams who are doing it lately too. But, for the most part, everyone else has been first picking these double aggro plays. VGJ.Storm saw some success with like Coddle Keeper, for example, being like that duo that we've seen in plenty of NA teams run, but they even use that at GSC Thailand. And we're seeing the same thing from Vega here. It's going to be Doom Skywrath Mage. Just like the Axe Skywrath Mage, same idea. Spam you down, bully you out of the lane, and just try and like take over the game that way in our 2-1-2 meta.
Yeah, good old 2-1-2 meta. We're back to pub days here at the competitive Dota 2 scene. No, but the Silence again, and no doubt strong from Vega's side. The Warlock is a little bit of a curious pick to me as well. And I was kind of going back through the drafts of VGJ.Storm to clarify. And actually in the finals, they did draft a Morphling and a Warlock together, sure enough. They went Abaddon, Visage, as well as a Tusk on top. Now Tusk, of course, banned, but we'll see if there's some similar trends there when it comes to
when it comes to this Warlock too, like his heal is just absurd. I mean, we saw the Fnatic game. They were using it for the Spectre. That like you could actually survive through all of this ridiculous spam. I think it was an Axe Skywrath in that lane, if I'm not mistaken. It's just like this idea of these dual off lanes that put so much pressure on. The Warlock heal is pretty ridiculous. So you can keep these hard carries that you wouldn't think could survive in the current meta, where there's always going to be this super aggressive dual off lane. You're like, how are you going to get an Anti-Mage, a Spectre, or a Morphling into your game? But Warlock is a hero that'll still allow you to do that.
Rubik does seem pretty strong in this game. Obviously, grid against Clockwork, and then on top of that, you have he's got a couple of things he could steal from Warlock, specifically that chaotic offering. Of course, he would really like. But Rubik, third pick for Vega after the Clockwork. What is your take?
Yeah, this is great. Honestly, I mean, you know, the true Rubik players, the high skill ones, those are the guys that get those Ravages, get the chaotic offering. You're trying to play away from your team, make sure you're not caught in that big AoE, and then you have the massive fire back of getting the counter ultimate. But as you said, the Clockwork and the Morphling, I mean, you get to steal Attribute Shift possibly, full strength Rubik, always very nice to have. and then just playing around with the clockwork and his cogs can always be a treat for a Rubik.
So now 4th pick for VGJ.Storm. You figure the clockwork, I mean, it could be either the off lane or the position 4. Is there one you would rather see here when it comes to the clockwork's role?
I've been surprised how well the offlane clock has done, but I guess in terms of how well like core Night Stalker's been doing, just this idea of the constant aggression, it seems to be working out well for teams that are willing to run these more gank-heavy cores that we used to talk about, like falling off so hard. Like Underlord was a great example of someone that you want in the offlane because he can just keep farming, you know? He's just going to throw down that Firestorm. He's going to get tons of gold, tons of these utility items going on for your team, so... we'll see. Yeah, Clockwork and NP. So we don't even know which one is going to be the support, which one's going to be the offlaner. It might just end up being this kind of like 3.5 role, I like to call it, between the two, where they will have like a similar net worth distribution moving through the game.
Yeah. I definitely like the Nature's Prophet pick. This is not a team that's really set to deal with the NP right now, especially with all the treants and everything. So more wave clear is perhaps something that Vega Squadron should be looking to draft right here, but they need their last 2 picks, and you figure both their cores really, their mid and their safe lane. That's what we're looking at here. So they got 2 minutes of reserve time, so still plenty for Vega Squadron, but what do we think this could possibly be?
What do we got here? So, yeah, as you said, mid and safe. They are definitely... I wouldn't mind a little bit better initiation. The damage is fairly okay. Scarlet Mage, obviously one of the better supports when it comes to just pumping in a bunch of damage. I tend to think about Puck in a lot of these scenarios. It's not terrible. You would probably want a mid laner that can survive up against the level 6 of the Clockwork and also the constant teleportations in from the Nature's Prophet. I'm not really seeing like an Invoker, for example. I don't think would be your kind of mid hero, you know? Maybe more towards those like Queen of Pains, Pucks, heroes like that, even a Mirana from certain teams. In terms of, they have played the Puck relatively recently, but they'll go with the Troll, so that's pretty good as well.
Yeah, it's going to be carrying Calling Plate, of course, a Battle Fury on top of that, so naturally against Nature's Prophet, pretty good to have that tool for a hero like a Troll Warlord, but
Definitely.
I do wonder about the final pick now. You know, somebody to take advantage of that battle trance as well from the Troll. More than likely is going to be on the docket here.
I feel like they'll probably just ban the Lina because she's very strong right now. That seems like the kind of ban.
Dire team back.
I'll go with the Death Prophet. Okay, that's a little bit better actually because they were missing some siege and she can handle the Clockwork hooks in. So.
Lena's still strong, though. You mentioned lacking the siege, but obviously with Lena, especially with the battle trance, she can definitely burn down towers pretty quickly right there. So, but a little more susceptible to getting ganked, though, as you're getting at.
Yeah. I would prefer that they went for something a little bit
10 seconds
safer, but maybe if you go for that Puck or that Queen of Pain, you're going to be missing out on some of that scaling that you would get out of someone like Alina, so they might deem it worthy. It all depends as to how comfortable they feel on these heroes like the Doom and what their builds they're kind of considering. Yeah, DK ban, that instantly means it's going to be Puck. So big fan, always like the Puck. I pretty much shouted out every single draft. I think this hero is still really good.
Well, it's funny you mention that because honestly, I just got done casting the Epicenter event, of course, and we did not see much Puck at that event at all. I really cannot remember Puck performances from that event. I can't speak for the GESC event. I was kind of going through some drafts, and it doesn't look like he was the most popular hero either. So definitely one that has been toned down a bit as far as his popularity goes.
It suits this game exceptionally well, though. Like, very good against Nature's Prophet. It's someone who can get back in behind those waves, cut them off, stop that pressure into your towers. Someone who's not susceptible to Clockwork ganks because of being able to orb out of the cogs and everything. Someone who can find the Warlock before the fight starts, get a silence off, and eliminate that factor from their team fight, and also an instant silence on top of a Morphling. So it is very good against all 4 heroes here. And they were already lacking AoE control as well as initiation on the side of Vega. So it's just kind of this perfect answer for them. I think it was ideal.
Maybe a hard stun here for VGJ.Storm because they're lacking on the crowd. Well, that's definitely not a hard stun.
Go the other way.
We don't want to stun at all. We're just going to go a hero that can do very well in the lane and Viper instead. So, of course, that corrosive armor is going to be corrosive skin even is going to be decent here against this lineup. But, man, they are lacking crowd control. That's my biggest concern right now for VGJ.Storm.
Yeah, no doubt. It's more like the clock starts off on someone. They have pretty decent mobility to follow up with the clockwork too, just with the teleportation from the Prophet, as well as you could say like the waveforming from the Morphling, sort of an idea. But I kind of envision like Clock tries to pick one before in the like behind the tower kind of a deal, and then they just kind of transition that into a push around the objective. It can be very difficult to stop a team from sieging your towers when they're just standing there with Chaotic Offering, kind of waiting for you to attempt to stop them. So I'm imagining a lot of split push from Vega, which should go fairly well, I would say. You know, you have the troll to kind of like trade towers and everything, but getting into a split push game up against a Nature's Prophet is always going to be a dangerous proposition.
All right, here we go. Game 1. Again, these are 2-game series, so no best of 3s here. Just simply 2-game series here with the round-robin format, so no matter what, we'll be done after that. But looking forward to seeing how both these teams, again, coming into this 0-2, 0-1, however you want to look at it here in the group stages so far. Of course, though, as we mentioned, VGJ.Storm, at the same time, a bit of hype that they're working off of from the GESE Thailand minor. Now, really, another note on that, though, it's again, that event literally just finished. Like, we were talking about that with the casters as well. I mean, they flew back yesterday, and now here they are. Or I guess in VGJ.Storm's case, you know, they flew over to China, so maybe not as long of travel necessarily. Well, at the same time, that's still got to be pretty far.
Though,
yeah,
honestly, like it's very tiring. And I mean, we're also talking about them like, you know, minors aren't that important. You got to win majors and everything. But I mean, for this team, they can't even qualify for DPC, right? Because they're post-lock. So it's just like this is all just for a team getting prepared, getting ready. And, you know, there is this money thing. I believe you also actually get money.
I feel like that's overlooked. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like, who cares about? Oh yeah, why should Virtus Pro try at this major, right? You know, so they don't need points. Guys, there's $1 million prize pool at these majors. Money is still important. Let's not overlook that. Now, I agree with you there, of course. And with that, you know, here we are at $1 million major. So whether or not you're significant in the DPC situation right now, you're still playing for plenty, of course. So. Okay, have a pause here to start things off. I did. Storm was talking about they were having some technical issues in the lobby there initially, so hopefully nothing too serious though. Looks like they are good. Okay, so yeah, we got all these emotes back. Love it, man. Can't wait for the spam. Yor, he's fine, but gonna take some pressure here. All right, so I go back to this Doom Skywrath response opening though against the Morphling. Is that going to be a big concern, you think, for VGJ.Storm this game, or does the draft play out where Yor should actually have some room here? I mean, you even throw the puck on top, like their silence is so strong.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty big concern. Certainly a little worrisome. Like, where is this Morph going to farm? I didn't know if they were maybe even going to try and like shove a mid or something. I've seen Yor on some of his more impressive games. They tend to be these ridiculous kind of comeback scenarios where he has absolutely nothing and he can farm up very quickly. Even before he was on this squad, when he was just playing on all these random NA stacks, that was certainly kind of like a hallmark of his play style. But this is a real rough one to try and get that done. I feel like they have a very quick draft on the side of Vega Squadron. If this puck gets off to an okay start, that first rotation goes well with the Dream Coil, they could just be knocking down towers with Battle Trans.
Now, of course, so they do have Viper, though, in the hands of Resolution to rely on. So he's kind of the other side. I guess the silence is not really that strong against him, and again against magic damage he's decent against as well. So that's kind of the nice balance there.
Yeah, and they can also just kind of like maybe group up around him, and if he can rotate in and maybe create opportunities for the Morphling, even though you're going to be like splitting farm and everything, if you can at least get some decent pushes going, knock down some towers, and create a little bit more room for the Morphling, that could go okay. But I think in terms of VGJ.Storm's game, a lot of it's going to come down to this Nature's Prophet and Clockwork. MSS, very practiced on the hero, of course, you know, from his more core role-playing days. So if they're going to apply all this pressure to the Morphling and dedicate 2 to 3 heroes down here at a time, it has to be those two up top who are making use of the space.
Bottom lane, look at this. With 3 heroes down here, Rubik is even going to start zoning them out. I mean, we knew this was going to be a rough game for Morphling, but literally can't even get to his tier 1 tower at the beginning.
Has to TP to it.
Has to TP to his tier 1 tower. Like, that just happened right there. But it's at the same time, it's the response, and, you know, he made it. And you see Skywrath, of course, or excuse me, Slayer on Rubik going to the top lane. Skywrath will stay bottom, but, you know, interesting start goes without saying here from Vega Squadron. And that early pressure, but Yor, he's in the lane at least. we'll see how he manages when it comes to that. But again, Skyrath, not only that silence that we keep stressing, but obviously a fantastic laning support on top of that. So it's going to be a tough time at that bottom. How about our mid matchup, though? Viper versus Puck. Is this one you see going either way?
I mean, it's just kind of this pretty boring matchup. Obviously, Puck likes to try and create kill opportunities. Doesn't really happen versus a Viper. The phase shift isn't amazing versus Viper. I mean, you can dodge out a couple of the poison attacks. Maybe you can like wean down his mana pool, but it's not exactly this like super skill-based matchup where you're like every phase shift is crucial. You must fake it out with a quap dagger kind of a deal. You know, it's like, all right, I dodged one poison.
Yeah, not that big of a deal. Yeah, no LSA is coming out or anything like that.
I will say, Viper isn't great at punishing when you leave the lane, really. You know, it doesn't push the tower the fastest or anything like that, so that is an advantage, I would say, for a Puck. You can find some openings without losing too much ground.
All right. Keep an eye on that. He's 7-2 right now against the 5-3 Viper. Again, very early on, though. We are seeing that Shadow Word come out quite a bit from SVG, as much as he can use it, and he's needing to. You see that spam of the Arcane Missiles from Skyrath that we're stressing. A lot of harassment that he's bringing in, and no surprise, he's pretty much using it every cooldown. Has that Clarity currently active. SVG's trying to take it off, but he's doing a good job of hiding. Finally gets it taken off right there. It's going to be annoying.
And he's already used his Clarity as well from SVG, so he only has the 2 mangoes left. So he's got, we got 125 from that. So he still has quite a few Shadow Words left. He'll naturally regen 1 more, and then he'll just have to start mangoing for the others.
No, they're paused right here, so I mean, all right. I guess that's better than like lag issues, so I won't really stress.
Ooh, that is true.
Yeah, that could be worse.
Do not curse us with the China Dota TV.
No.
Have you just done this to us?
No,
why would you even bring that up?
I'm not in China.
No, you cursed
I'm
us.
home.
It's over.
This is North America. We got North America team, a team from CIS here. I mean, this is nothing about a China land. No, but obviously it is the MDL major, so just to reiterate that right here. Of course, it is in China on a serious note, and looking forward to seeing how this one ultimately plays out. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. You know, we got the group stages that then lead into how does it work? The bottom team gets eliminated, it looks like, in each group, and then they advance on with 10 teams and after that of the total 12 into a double elimination event of sorts. So and depending on how you finish, you know, you get placed in a specific spot in the bracket. So,
man, we've been looking at mid and bottom so much. Look at this top lane, 14 denies on Snake King, 3 and 2 on the Troll right now. That is not going well.
No,
not a lot of last hits.
No, Palantimos is struggling up here. Is that Clockwork, you think, as well? Is that a big part of what he's doing as far as harassment? I mean, 14 denies is ridiculous.
I would say it's mostly like the Treants can just bully you so hard. Like, what are they gonna do against Treants in this lane?
Yeah,
they can try and right click them down, but at the beginning when your attack damage is so low and you know level 1 Fade Bolt, it's just so like not really a big impact. Triple mango, by the way, on Slayer. Man, the mangoes are real these days, man.
It's quite amusing, honestly. I was mentioning that a bit at the Epicenter event. That was just that became the meta. I just seen every hero felt like at least 1 to 2, if not 3 mangoes. Yeah, being picked up.
I love it. You know, I turn on the Dota client every day. Got to check out those mango heroes. You know, I always start in the strength section because that's where it really matters. You can take any strength hero with 2 mangoes and just go off lane these days. It's great.
Yeah.
Some stupid dual off lane. You have a fun time. There's no strength heroes with mangoes today, guys. I thought it was going to be like balanced or some shit. Not a single strength hero.
That's ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do today with my life? I'm going to play like Void Mango? No. Garbage.
I suppose you could just watch
Valve.
Dota. Just watch Dota instead. There's plenty of good Dota going on. All right, resume the game. We're good to go. Yeah, didn't they nerf the Mango as well in the latest patch as far as the regen goes? So it's not as strong, but it's still.
Yeah, down to 0.6.
Viper, middle lane. He's
0.7.
going to be fine. The Fairy Fire comes out and looks at. Oh, wow. Okay, that was close. They thought they had the kill initially, and Skyrath started walking away, but the Fairy Fire caught them off guard initially. But they do get the kill on a Viper. So good rotation from that Skyrath mage.
Yeah, nicely down there with the DD, and yeah, it is 0.6. Okay, I'm not crazy. They haven't updated the actual Mango thing. It just says 7.4, 1 to 0.7, but it is 0.6 as of the last patch. So, but yeah, so Puck will just get a salve back and try and keep an edge in this lane. Man, it doesn't even have much of an experience advantage still, though, despite that kill happening.
Yeah. It was necessary, but Viper just makes his way back to the middle lane. Puck, the slight advantage again in CS, but man, this Doom bottom lane is having a pretty good time. Morphling's actually managing pretty well, though, despite all that's happening. He is actually topping the CS chart right now. It's 17-3. Looking good for Yara down there. So, making the best of it, no doubt, and it goes back to also snaking. You just see every time the support comes close, he just starts right-clicking Slayer on that Rubik. So, Nature's Prophet. What kind of build are we going to expect to see on this Nature's Prophet here as far as this early success goes?
They can do a couple things. It could be a Solar Crest build. It's all right this game up against the Troll. Could just go for something a little bit more like middle ground, just because like Solar Crest obviously isn't that great against Doom and Puck. It's good against the Troll, but it's not amazing this game. If they think it's going to help them get the Roche early, though, they might opt for it. Could just go for the drums as they grab the Skywrath as well as almost get our Problems and TP's home.
That would have been a big kill on Prophet, but yeah, caught the Skywrath kill at the last second there. Clockwork and the Warlock coming together. Of course, Clockwork with that battery assault sitting on top of Skywrath. Not much more he can do to get away. So good find there for VGJ.Storm, and they tied up at 1 hero kill apiece now. And Warlock, of course, makes his way back to the bottom lane. Morphling, is there any reason to believe that he won't go the Lincolns this game? As the Thaka's Ancient Seal coming out. There's that long silence. Finally gets the Morph off into strength, though, and he will be fine in the end, but and the pressure continues. But yeah, back to the question as far as the item build goes.
No, I think Lincoln sounds pretty good. You know, do your standard builds and everything on Morphling. Should be a pretty good game for it.
There's a lot that can take it off, though, right? Especially Skywrath alone.
The seeds of fortune.
As long as you need 2 heroes, though, that's a lot better than Doom just shadow blading to you on the side lane and dooming you.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, is this a game where Manta style does seem pretty strong? But
it could definitely be in your round of items, possibly.
Yeah.
Just because of the Skywrath or some sort of an option for it. One of the best things about this game, though, as you were saying about the Prophet and his itemization, is that like that hero can pretty much build anything. Well, it's hard to build stuff when you're dead, unfortunately.
True. Well, Nature's Prophet, he might be dead. He's definitely dead. Dream Coil comes out. It's a great rotation from Undershock, setting up that kill eventually, and actually giving the last. Well, Slayer got the last hit. A little unfortunate there, I guess, but still, Troll also assisting in it, and Undershock comes back to the middle lane with the TP. So they finally take out that Nature's Prophet, and who's 20 and 20. Though I still can't get over that. There's so many denies. This top lane. Whoa!
Oh, there we go.
Yara's dead.
It's a good thing Yara made good use of that early space, because once the levels stack on these guys, like Skywrath obviously was just concussive, not that scary. You can play pretty low, get a lot of last hits, but now once the silence comes out, you got level 5 on the Doom. It's so hard for Yara to be down here, especially when the Warlock isn't right next to him anymore.
Yeah. Yawar. I gotta be better about pronouncing that. Yawar. Also YS. Could just call him that, I guess.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll just go with Yes. The legendary player.
Yeah. Skywrath setting up. Here's the rotation for the supports, though, so they're going to go with the Ancient Seal, Inferno Blade. But now realizing Clockwork and Warlock coming in. Blizzy, run away with the Scorched Earth for now. He's just going to try to make his path out of here, and he is damn fast, so I don't think they're catching up to him. Good phase boots use, and good reaction from Vega, really, to not be counterplayed there. As they make it out. Middle lane, Undershock. Going to take some heavy pressure from Resolution of the Viper Strike, but again, he'll be fine. Simply going to go back to base and regen instead. Top lane, now Snaking's in trouble. All 3 lanes have some actions. Will this actually be a kill up here? Gets the initial bash. The range auto attack's not going to be enough damage, actually. Slayer could not commit for it, so a lot of action in all 3 lanes, but not resulting in any kills, at least at that point.
Another rotation down bot, too.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
See where Undershock wants to go. He's sitting at home with the Dream Coil, has a TP, and he goes mid. All right, back to farming.
Yeah, that could have been an opportunity, you're right. It's stuff like that where if you're going to reach it anyways, you might as well try to look for that kill. Maybe the bottom lane would have been the play, but now he's probably wishing he could have come down here because they're going to dive on a Blizzy as well as Zayak once again, but once again, they're not going to get the kill, as we see. Plenty of return, in fact. Clockwork going to take some more harassment, but the Shadow Word keeps him up. So, damn it, they're trying to take care of the Skywrath Doom at bottom. Now, to be fair, they're opening up a lot of room for Morphling, who's now 42 and 15, actually. Wow.
Yeah. That's the more important thing that's happening down here, honestly. I mean, haven't we all decided kills don't matter? Like, do they? I mean, someone dies like 5 times in my lane, I just don't even care. I just want to hit some creeps, man. Like 40 gold, boom. That's like half a kill these days. Anyway, Puck is a DD is rotating through the smoke.
Smoke in. He's got that Dream Coil. Will hit both. SVG's in trouble. You see Clockwork sort of TP'd out. Yawar will be fine, however. They do lose the Warlock. I guess considering that situation, that's probably the best case scenario if you're VGJ.Storm. And losing the Warlock only. So that was a 4-man rotation. So keeping positive.
Rezo will start pumping that damage in to try and take advantage of the Puck being gone, but like I mean, this is the problem with the Viper. Like you can't really clear this wave, you know. You're like, oh, please die. You need creep pressure, and then Rubik's already here to just take the wave off.
Yeah. Push it back. You have Troll, Battle Fury progress. So it's not looking too good so far. Again, he's been dealing with issues at that top lane of the Nature's Prophet. Only at 2,400 net worth. He's down there on the net worth chart. He's trying to finish phase boots even still at this point with the Ring of Aquila, of course. First, I assume is there a reason why we wouldn't see a Battle Fury coming out, or is it just it's just too good, right?
I mean, there's the possibility of they just want to play really aggressive. Maybe if they can keep this lead kind of going. Snaking in the mid lane gets a nice grab onto Slayer here.
Oh, but at what cost? He's going to be lifted up, actually. The big burst damage return from Undershock as well as Zayak, and they do take out Nature's Prophet, so a 1-for-1, definitely favoring Vega Squadron. Their benefit, that's, you know, teleportation's great ability to get kills like that, but put himself in a vulnerable spot at the same time between 2 towers.
Yeah, maybe thinking they were backing up the Morphling more, and so there wouldn't be like I'm not sure actually. I think he thought maybe they were ganking more for something, but anyway. Doom will get the grab onto the Warlock, so man, Zayats is just all over the place. He's just mid, and he just makes his way down bottom. He's spamming clarities non-stop, and he's going back mid. He's going to find the coil there.
Well, yeah, this is going to be a kill. Doom comes out. Viper's dead. Undershock may go down and return. No, the Viper Strike's not going to be enough. Start using those bottle charges and regen back up. So Vega Squadron moving very cleanly as a team right now. They're up 7-2 hero kills, but big picture, net worth-wise, both the cores on VGJ.Storm are still farming pretty well. Specifically this Morphling, who, again, this continues to be almost a little bit of a surprise. It feels like that how well Yawar has been able to farm here.
Yeah, not committing the Doom to him, definitely helping, missing out on that gank too, so surviving quite narrowly, and they won't get the deny, of course, so important these days.
He went really aggressive, but he does have a Clockwork backup at the last second. Going to pop that wand, will stay alive. Blizzy trapped up initially by the trance, but just going to walk it off, and that'll be that. So very close call. Yawar almost got caught with his hand in the cookie jar right there.
I mean, he has like almost no offensive capability in engagements because of his build, right?
Yeah.
Like 1-1-3. He has no damage, but he's living and he's getting last hits. And honestly, that's just more important right now.
SVG cannot say the same. Goes down top lane. Pretty easy kill on him between the Rubik and the Troll. At the time, he was by himself. Nature's Prophet TP's in at the last second, but clearly getting there a little bit too late. But yeah, you're right. Morphling, very survival style build right here. And, well, at least in that sense, it is working. However, once again, we see another attempt. They do not have Doom. And without Doom, I just don't think they're getting this kill. As we see.
Too fast there on the attribute shift.
Yeah. Skywrath coming in. So he's working on the Lincolns. Again, no surprise there. How about Puck? He is going to go the first out in Blink. Wants to get that tempo online.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh,
wow, forces a coil. Nice job, MSS.
I mean, I guess he'll take these, just runs around in circles. Yeah, he'll take that. That was interesting. Top lane.
I mean, what choice do you have as a Puck, right? If you try and like orb somewhere, he might hook shot you after, and then you're just dead. So you kind of just got to suck it up and throw your coil down. But that's so much wasted time for a Puck at this time in the game. Like, you need a kill if you want to get to your Blink Dagger right now, and he has to walk all the way home, regen up, and then he has no Dream Coil.
Well, top lane Resolution easily pushing it in. Clockwork is nearby in case, but as we see, not going to be necessary. They do indeed kill that top tier 1 tower. Skywrath Mage. All right, so this is an item that I feel like we saw a fair amount of Morphlings recently, and for some reason, the other team doesn't insist on getting a Spirit Vessel, especially sooner than later. So I wonder if Skywrath is going to go for that, because, again, it really is good against that Morph effect of the Morphling.
Yeah, no, Spirit Vessel is super value. Honestly, even just like the team-based, like the heal aspect of Spirit Vessel is actually ridiculous.
It is, yeah.
I mean, it gets a lot of love because of the HP reduction, but... Ooh, nice combo there. High damage support duo. Instantly annihilated from that high ground. Good vision there. That ward's probably going to die, though, honestly.
Well, I was watching this top lane meanwhile, so yeah, you are going down. That's big MSS. He hit the treants, by the way, with that hook shot. It's a little bit awkward. Calcoffer comes out. They did still take out Doom, though. Fatal Bonds, I believe, to think for that. Resolution finished him off with a dot, it looks like. Anyways, Puck makes his way out with the jaunt. He'll be good in the trees, and Zayak, it's a case of he might be dead. It's just how long can he distract them? And you know what? They're not even going to chase, actually. He's just a little too fast.
You got creeps.
That's true.
Got to use this Viper, man. Got to hit some towers.
Want to push it, as well as the Golem, for that matter. That is still up. So yeah, losing Yoar, they kind of make the best of it right now. And they're already pushing a tier 2 tower. You see Zayak, though, coming back in the flank. Slayer, he's in trouble. He's going to be killed off. He stole the Nether Toxin. That's not really going to do him much good, though.
Undershock just got his blink here. They need to make a play.
Oh, they're going to go for it. Waning Rift in. No Drink Coil, though. It's not ready for 18 more seconds. Without that, they probably can't. Resolution just right-clicking down the Skywrath meanwhile. And yes, the dot will finish the job. So Vega got a little desperate right there, you could tell, to try to make some plays. And they end up losing a lot more than they should have.
It's like you think that you just get this Blink Dagger and now you're so much stronger, but you don't have your Troll there. Your Doom obviously already used his big Doom. So who's following up when you actually go in? Big problems there. For them. But losing both their top towers, they really need a big smoke play coming out next. Try and hunt down this Morphling again. Maybe try and kill Snake King too. Those are your big targets, and Rezo's just a little too big to fall at the current moment.
Yeah, we knew. I mean, without the troll, they do not have the best ways to kill this Viper. Because again, that corrosive skin level 4 maxed out. It's quite a lot of mitigation that he has to take advantage of, considering what he's dealing with. He also has a Dragon Lance, Ring of Aquila on top of that. So yeah, he's a very tanky target right now.
You're looking at 46% magic resistance on 1300 HP.
Yeah,
that's pretty brutal when you're a Skywrath and a Puck trying to kill him.
Exactly. So doing their best though. Looking for more kills is Vega Squadron, the 3 of them here, Rubik, as well as the Puck and Skywrath. Yoar, though, he backs off here in the middle lane before anyone can catch him. That's a Hurricane Pike, meanwhile, finished by Viper. So, really, the farm is showing. As no surprise to see him on top of that net worth chart. Now, Viper is a hero that does drop off of naturally, unless he goes like the whole Maelstrom initially and then really can start amplifying. But obviously, he didn't in this case. So the point is, what does VGJ.Storm need to do now with this overfarmed early Viper? Do they just need to keep the objectives going, you think?
I think as long as he is someone who can stand like he is right now on the wrong side of the map, essentially, in a creep wave, he's doing his job. He is creating a pressure that you really want to answer as Vega Squadron, and you're not even looking at Morphling. And Yoar is just farming away down here, slowly getting himself into relevance during this game. And he'll miss the hook shot down bottom
that was a tough
Blizzy,
one.
So he will run.
Yeah, with that Scorched Earth, he's obviously so fast on Doom that MSS thought he had the angle. You got to give credit, though, at the same time to Blizzy there.
Yep.
Making the juke.
But, like, your Puck is pushing out a wave mid with Dream Coil and Blink Dagger ready. It's just not what he really wants to be doing. You know, he wants to smoke up with his Skywrath Mage and this Rubik and go and get something done.
Yeah.
But there's too much pressure onto their side of the map. Rezo is just like this Viper, man.
He just doesn't care. Yeah, he's just go back to mid, just push out this lane on your side as you're mentioning, and what can they do? Not a damn thing, especially with the clockwork not really showing on the map either.
And like, look at the smoke. They smoke here, and they're like, well, there's a Viper. Like, why did we even smoke?
Yeah. Well, what's the point of this? They're going to try, but again, well, let's bring out Mystic Flare. Oh my god, it will be enough with the Ancient Sail on top of that, but Chaotic offering in response to take out Slayer. That's all they get, though, so that worked out very well for Vega Squadron. You see Undershock on the other side, so Ancient Seal amplify damage, Mystic Flare, perfect placement. They can kill him, clearly.
Yep. But, I mean, that was a bait play from VGJ.Storm, and it just didn't work out the way they thought it would. Nice hook.
That was a great hook on a Puck. Will it be the actual kill, though? Phase shift, blink. Undershock, he's escaping. He does have a TP still, and he'll use it to get away. I go back to, I mentioned at the beginning of that, Clockwork did not have his hook shot in the early part. So you said that was a bait play. I mean, the chaotic offering was great, but yeah, without the hook shot, unable to really save that Viper. And they take a Skywrath meanwhile, though, still in the middle lane, getting another kill out of it. But overall, good for Vega with that initial pick. And now you've made that room for Troll, who is now topping the charts as he picks up his Battle Fury.
Alright, so he'll just kind of start getting into this game as well with that next item he can farm up. I know Doom. Blizzy was kind of jumping back and forth. Wasn't sure what he wanted. He was queuing up the Blink, then he was queuing up the Crimson Guard. Now he ends up buying the Blink, so he just wants to try and make his puck useful. I was kind of hoping he'd go Shadow Blade. I felt like that might have been a little bit better. Maybe he could scout out for the Blink instead, but they will find you are no shift in time. Silenced up.
Oh, he gets it off before the Doom, though.
Oh, my God.
That one.
He just didn't want to commit the Doom.
Yeah, he didn't want to. You are right. That's pure greed right there. I mean, but that's the perfect target. Like, you have to use that when you have a chance.
It's also a very long cooldown, though. And the last time he doomed the Viper, they lost 2 towers before Doom was even back up.
Okay, well. But it's morphling, right? Like, you have to use it on him.
No, I agree, but I can kind of understand why he probably hesitated a little bit there, because it really looked like he was going to die. But that beautiful 20-charge magic wand, ladies and gentlemen, it's quite the item.
Especially on a hero like Morphling, who happens to be nearly full agility. With that morphed, he definitely got that burst of healing enough to stay alive in the end. So that was a big play. MSS, he is porting elsewhere as top lane. Viper's in trouble. Mystic Flare with that Ancient Seal once again doing plenty of damage. Clockwork's coming in. He'll get the stun on the Slayer. Will it be enough? Another Toxic's put down on Viper. It was stolen by Slayer. And the last hit of the concussive shot's actually not enough. The auto attacks can't get in. Viper's still making the juke. Zayak wants to find him so desperately, but he just simply cannot. He goes down instead, and Resolution staying alive. But honestly, that was all team support right there from VGJ.Storm. Without his supports, he is not living.
46% wasn't enough, so he bought the cloak. So he's now up to 54% magic resistance, hence why that did 80 damage.
Oh, wow.
With the last arcane there from Zayas. It's brutal, man. What a hero.
That is tough. That's big staying alive, though, but yeah, I mean, you look at the Ancient Seal. How much is that amping? 45% increased magic damage. Like, it's crazy to think that you have a hero like Skywrath and so much magic damage around you. Even the Rubik aura offensively, if he happens to be close enough, but then Viper just lives because he's Viper.
Now he's going to maybe get a kill here. Oh, no. Snake King couldn't quite find him with the damage first.
Yeah. Good use of that blink you're talking about. Just got here recently by the Doom. We are seeing some BKBs queued up now, though, from Vega Squadron. Specifically on Troll, I also saw Doom just queuing up there himself. This is a very quick BKB response, though, from a Troll Warlord.
Yeah, Battle Fury straight into it, but that's good. It means he can actually join these fights. I don't really think, like, these heroes aren't the tankiest on the, the backline heroes, I should say, in terms of, like, Nature's Prophet and this Warlock, maybe. Those heroes you can try and bring down. The Morphling if he's stunned up, so you don't necessarily need a damage item to be really involved here. You just gotta actually make your way through the fight, but he'll take a tier 1 top, while Nature's Prophet and Viper are siege monsters in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I was noticing the item build up NP. We were talking about it earlier, possibly. The drums he ended up going. The Orchid is the big first item for Snake King. Taking a look at the graphs on top of that. What is that? What percentage chance? Ooh, it's still looking decent for VGJ.Storm throughout the whole game. Viper.
Such a useless
stat, I know.
Oh, no. No, I was going to say, it's such a good thing about Nature's Prophet is that you can just buy any item on this hero. It reminds me kind of like Night Stalker in the same way when it's a cold roll. There's so many different items that you can go for, and Nature's Prophet can just be flexed into a number of answers for your team. Whatever you're lacking, he can make up for it. You can't roast, you buy a Solar Crest. You got a problem picking people off, you buy an Orchid.
Yeah.
You know, you need a little bit of vision, some scouting, you grab yourself the Shadow Blade, and sometimes you need that Silver Edge.
And you can also do this. That global presence of the TP comes in and helps get the kill. Onto Doom. Might not even be necessary there, but might as well be involved. In fact, he takes the last hit for himself. But yeah, there's good reason as well why we're seeing this hero even picked up for position 5, on top of position 3. It literally could play any role if you really wanted to. Its diversity is very real, both items and his role in the game. So Bottom lane, they're still sticking around as Storm a couple of heroes at least. I was going to say they might want to back off, though, because Vega Squadron, everyone's in that area. The BKB just finished on Troll. So you get this early BKB after the Battle Fury on Troll. That feels like an item that do you now want to be aggressive with? Or you want to look to make plays yourself now for Vega Squadron? Push objectives yourself, I guess?
Yeah, I think it's more of a split push item in this case, just because if I don't think they're going to be starting fights from Vega Squad, really. They might create pick-off opportunities with a puck or something, but honestly, it's more like if they come high ground, you need this BKB so that you're some sort of a threat. And you also need to be able to be pushed on the side there. So Dire try to hide the courier up on the high ground there for a second, but dead thanks to the ward.
You know, something else we do have to take into consideration, and I've seen it a couple times, and I don't know if that's how he blew up so quickly in that middle lane necessarily, but Rubik has stole that Nether Toxin several times, and he actually currently has it. And, of course, the break effect that comes from that, we were talking about this corrosive skin of Viper, all of a sudden it's useless, right? So that is something that and it feels like I've seen Rubik have this ability several times. It's almost like he's prioritizing it for good reason, really, against this hero.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because Viper was always the classic hero that you would pick Rubik against because you could always guarantee that you get the Viper strike. And getting the Nether Toxin, in a sense, was just kind of just like, oh, well, I guess now there's 2 spells, so maybe that's almost a buff to Viper up against Rubik. But as you said, the Nether Toxin is actually so good at countering the Viper himself that you almost wish that he would be getting the Viper strike most times. But if you don't have the Aghanims build, then he's pretty much always going to get the Nether Toxin.
Morphling, 3,100 gold saved up, so that Ethereal Blade, it's well in the works. As, of course, he went to Lincoln's first, as we were mentioning. I also talked about the Urn earlier on Skywrath, and he's not going to rush into a Spirit Vessel by any means. He went the Arcane Boots course, and now he's going to go Forest Staff at least first.
Yeah,
and
that's
maybe eventually.
one problem with their build. Like, with their team, like, the Clockwork came out relatively early, and they don't have any Forest Staff heroes. You know, you're not going to buy like Hurricane Pike or anything like that in your Troll Warlord. Doom doesn't want a Force Staff. Puck obviously does not want a Force Staff. And even both these supports would love greedier items other than Force Staff. Rubik really would be kind of the closest one, but he's more in the poverty zone compared to the under attack. So you're kind of forced into an item you don't really want on the hero just to save people from hookshot.
Meanwhile, Clockwork, he does have a Spirit Vessel on himself, so chooses to kind of rush that one, and I think that's just more of, as you were talking about, I mean, defensively even, it is a very, very good tool for healing on up, and just, I love how aggressive, MSS is literally farming the Dire jungle right now on the map, so making some room for his team. Puck, 3,000 gold saved up, looking for a Scythe next, as far as his next pickup here, with the Yule's Blink, classic combo first. Is Scythe the answer, you think?
Well, he has the Yules to at least pop the Lincolns, so gives him a chance up against War. I don't know in terms of some of the other heroes. It's, I mean, it's a catch-all answer. It's a good item. He doesn't have the Veil, maybe because he feels like the Skywrath amplification is going to be enough, but at the same time, maybe a Veil should have helped some of the additional damage from their team, but then you're buying a lot of little items, so this is kind of his big item option here. Doesn't need a Lincoln Sphere because he can just use away the silence when Providence really has to, so I like it. It's just very slow, and Undershock, you kind of look, he's like 2-0 and 4, and you're like, okay, Puck's having an okay game, but is Puck really having a good game? Like, has Puck created the kind of opportunities you expect a Puck to? Does Puck have enough CS right now to justify how much time he's been spending on creep waves? Like, I almost feel like he should be more farmed right now. I feel like it's been a 5-man blob a lot of this game from VGJ.Storm, and they have cores that are way more farmed than the Dire ones.
Zayak, he might get picked up right here. Yep, the Ethereal Blade will help do him in, but it's buying the room. Nice block down the Clockwork hookshot, so they get the kill on Roshan. They just picked up, but then now they're trapped in here in the cog block. Doom, he's in trouble. He's definitely going to end up falling. Puck got picked up as well, so Troll, he's just made his way on out of here. Slayer now, he's also in trouble. Will very likely get killed off, so they get the Roshan, but it comes at a massive cost in the end, as they lose 4 heroes, and VGJ.Storm, they just want to go full throttle. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet teleports top, and he's going to already apply pressure to Tier 3. Puck is the only one with a buyback, mind you, although the resurrection timers aren't the longest, but this is at least a Tier 3 tower, it feels like.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, we've talked about the prevalence of some other heroes lately because of the patches and the changes to strength. Death Prophet, namely, being one of the biggest ones because of the percent-based damage. Everyone just feels so tanky, and if there's any hero that suffered from that, it does feel like it's the bread and butter of this hero, getting into fights, creating chaos by bringing everyone down like half HP all of a sudden, just does not feel the same anymore. So many tanky heroes, so much magic resistance going on right now. it's kind of understandable, as you said, why you didn't see this hero that much
Dire's
at
top
Epicenter.
shrine
I still think
has
it can be a
fallen.
good hero, but when your other core, like a Troll Warlord here, has not been engaged in this game at all,
Dire's top barracks
that's not what
are
Puck
under
can do,
attack.
you know? He needs someone to actually bring the damage a lot more than he used to.
Yeah, Troll's kind of to that point. He's 1-0-2, right? In a game that's 14-10 hero kills, 28 minutes in. I know Troll's not necessarily, he's not like your greatest position 1 carry that you expect to just be fighting all the time. But I go back to that BKB pickup, and I guess you were suggesting maybe it is going to be more the split push. Ultimate question, is it an issue that he hasn't been more involved, or is that a hindsight thing to say? But I'll give you a chance to think on that answer, as SVG. Glimmercape is not going to save him. And there you go, Troll comes over to finish the job, so he's being involved.
Yeah, Undershock creates something. That's I was actually going to comment how SVG has been playing so well this game. He's gotten a lot of deep wards. He's been like rotating all around through here, up through there, and that's his first step in a very long time on a Warlock that is the prime target for Puck. And there they go, grabbing another one. So getting a little bit lazy here in terms of the mid game, but oh, he's gonna live.
Radiant's bottom tower
Nope.
is
The
under
soul
attack.
burns too much.
That was close. Good attempt. Yeah, you mentioned the Orchid Burn, enough to finish the
Dire's
job
middle
there
tower
on
is
Slayer.
under
Obviously, they
attack.
lost Clockwork elsewhere as well, so we are starting to see more and more pickoffs taking place. But again, now he has an Aegis on top of an SNY. Like, the Troll has to eventually get. They haven't not been pushing objectives because they do have 3 tier 1s, but we're almost a half an hour into this game, and you have a Troll Warlord on your team. I feel like at 3 tier 1 towers is not necessarily where you want to be.
It's not bad, I think, just because of like it is a Nature's Prophet and a Clockwork. No, they
That's a
don't
big
get the shift off. Nice. This is what they need so bad right now. Like this Troll World has just appeared. He got an SNY, and he's like, team, I am ready. I can play some Dota 2 now. This will be great. And I mean, you look at someone like the Viper. You're talking about Viper like falling off. Someone like Troll Warlord, after 35 minutes, Viper is just food. You know, this guy can't move. He's immobile. You just walk up to him, and you are going to win that fight as Troll.
So I saw this earlier. Doom picked up the Heaven's Halberd, which obviously a great item, a great Lincoln's counter as well
Seeds of fortune.
in itself, but the Radiant team feels like they could possibly use one, right? Especially against the Troll Warlord, who's a lot of that on the right-click damage, really all their physical. As, by the way, Doom's applied to Viper in the back lines, has the BKB up there, Kadak offering response. Slayer will go down, Doom. That Spirit Vessel taking on him. The hookshot connects, the cog block. They're going to pick off Skywrath as well as the Doom on top of this, so they did lose UR earlier. But now they get 3 kills themselves, and the Doom on Viper essentially does nothing. Troll almost ended up dying, by the way,
Radiant are scanning.
to the Fatal Bonds. They actually scan him in the area. They're still chasing. Oh, man.
Oh, that Shadow Blade.
Oh,
no!
Just missed him with the Sprout block. The hell of an attempt from Snake King, but could not find the right angle.
Dire's bottom shrine is under
so
attack.
Too
close.
far gone.
Well then,
Back up to a 9K lead, it would seem.
yeah. So the Halberd, though, back to that. The Radiant team, is that something that they should be looking to pick up here against this Troll?
I think you don't have a very good person to purchase it, honestly. I'd rather just have
Dire's
like
bottom
other items on
shrine
all of
is
these
under
heroes.
attack.
Scythe included on that for Nature's Prophet. So yeah, Scythe, Orchid, Shadowblade. God, Snake King really is farmed. He is the top farm on his team, and he's actually keeping up with the Battle Fury Troll, who it feels like has been just farming most of this game. On
Dire's
top of that,
bottom
and
shrine
actually,
is
this
under
could be his
attack.
first. Oh, I was gonna say, okay, he has an Aegis, but still,
Yeah,
almost
it's a little bit
collapsed.
risky. It's gonna be running out soon. Yeah, only 3 more seconds. So.
Coming in.
Well, did they get enough done with the Aegis?
That actually felt pretty good, honestly. I
bottom
mean, think
shrine
about
is
it.
under
Considering that
attack.
Roche fight was a total disaster, and the VGJ.Storm were up like 6 or 7K. They have gained another 4K in that time period, so it's not amazing right now, but kind of felt like the game might have just been over. At least they didn't get a Rax, so overall not horrific for Vega, but obviously things going quite well for VGJ.Storm. They would like to probably group up and take down this tier 2 mid as well, just fully solidify their control over the map, and then just create that perimeter. Try and squeeze the rest of Vega back inside their base, considering how much control they should have in a game like this with the Nature's Prophet and a Clockwork.
Yeah. We didn't really talk much about this yet, though, but Viper, Ags picked up on him. He also has that level 20 talent now with the Viper Strike DPS, but well, what's your take on that? Not an item we get to see often on a Viper, it feels like.
No, kind of funny how he went for the cloak and he just that was just like in his backpack. He just like bought it casually. Maybe thought he was about going for the pipe or something, but
Dire's
wanted to
bottom
just head back
shrine
towards
has
that magic
fallen.
damage. It's an item that we see just because of his talent is like really awkward, right? It gets like the plus 100 Viper Strike DPS, or you want the poison attack affects buildings. And poison attack affecting buildings is a pretty shitty talent because it's not something you can use a lot of the game. Oh, might have a fight.
Yeah, they find them. This Vega finding VGJ.Storm, that is. Drinkwell will catch them a couple of places. BKB, though, Viper allows him to run out. And he's just going to keep on running. Now, the Doom is still on him. They just want to chase after him. Morphling in the area. Can he make a play? Viper's just dropping too quickly. Viper will eventually go down. And now Morphling has to make his way out of there, not getting too vulnerable. Nature's Prophet split push in the bottom lane meanwhile. But another great couple of finds there from Vega Squadron. And they're going to smoke up and try to catch the Nature's Prophet. But as we see, he's already at the top lane. Roshan's not going to be out for a little bit. So I don't know how much they're going to be able to make out of the smoke on the side of Vega. But still, the great kill on Viper especially. Looking good for them.
Yeah, the troll's involved. The game is scary.
Yes.
I'm not feeling amazing for VGJ.Storm. They can still close this one out, but it's starting to feel like that ticking window sort of a situation.
Puck, he finds the Nature's Prophet at the top lane. Blizzy gets picked off elsewhere from Yawar. Can they actually catch up to Staking, though? That Shadow Blade, it's not going to be enough. The Battle Trance coming out even just to make sure they take out Nature's Prophet. And that's 770 gold bounty kill. Going the way of Skyrath, but still.
Invisibility.
Vega's finding a lot of openings here.
It's funny, this is the kind of trio you expected to be doing this stuff like in the mid game, much more early on this one, like maybe 15 to 20 minutes, but it feels like after 30 minutes, all of a sudden they're like, you know, we can actually get a lot of damage in here on these heroes, but it's also because the ball of VGJ.Storm is kind of dissolved. They're much more spread across the map. They're trying to keep up with some of the push coming out just from the Doom as well as the Troll Warlord, so obviously Doom got punished, Blizzy getting picked off by Yawar, but gotta love the fact that he did buy that gem earlier and handed it off to Undershock, and that's helping to create these pick-off moments.
So I have Scotty. I was going to say it looks like that's next in line for Palantimos, and he just goes up to the shop and right-clicks it at that point. So he has a full Eye of Scotty now, mix of being a little tankier as well as that slow effect, etc. 2,700 life to work with. This troll is definitely starting to look really dangerous if he wasn't already, and he is almost level 25 as well. And this is a game where, is this the Battle Trance Dispel game, you think, or?
I feel like I almost always see the Whirling Axis cooldown. Is this a game for
Well,
Dispel?
that's what I was going to say. I mean, I feel, the Whirling Axis I feel like is more popular, but you are dealing with a Viper where that could potentially be okay, I guess, but
I mean,
then
I'd be
you can
thinking about the
reapply
E-Blade,
it.
honestly.
Or that too, yeah.
That could actually be somewhat useful. I don't know. I think it's difficult to tactically save your Battle Trance, so that
True.
talent doesn't feel that amazing to me.
Radiant's bottom tower
That
is
would be
under
the way I
attack.
look at it.
Yeah.
Dire's
Now you're
middle
probably
I feel like
right.
you'll just
Under
get more
attack.
value. It reminds me again of that Viper one, where it's like,
Dire's
if I don't
structures
build
are
Agnums
fortified.
on this hero, I'm wasting that
Radiant's
talent
bottom
because I don't
tower
want to
is
buy
under
poison, or I
attack.
don't want to get poison attack effect
Dire's
buildings.
middle
'Cause,
tower
you know,
is under attack.
all game
Dire's
my
middle
Viper
tower has
Strike's being
fallen.
used. You know.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Middle
fallen.
lane.
But,
So trading tier 2 towers
Rock it on.
on either side. Ultimately, it looks like Storm's looking to fall back, though. Undershock, however, he's in the flank. He's got that gem, as we mentioned, with the scythe on top of that, and did just turn nighttime. Oh, they're going to run into one another. MSS, can he find the opening? There's the John through. They find the opening on a Skyrath, and they blow him up at least, but that's all it'll be, it looks like.
Most of their successful rotations have come from his Mystic Flares throughout that. It feels like he's always that last little bit of damage.
Yeah. So, only did for 30 more seconds, but
Yeah, that's Roche spawn though.
there you go. Will they see it in time? The SVG's checking it. Now, can they really kill Roshan quickly enough? They
I
do have
would
a
say
pretty
so,
good Roshan
yeah.
team, yeah.
Yawar's gonna do a lot of damage. And just because they got that tier 3, you know, that it's so important that they got that during that last push in the top lane, because that's what got rid of these shrines here, and will probably end up securing this Roche for them.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, the Shrine's been killed off. And I'm also noticing Nich's Prophet, he's doing a great job with these Treants, just keeping them as basically movable wards. And he's going to run at them now as well. So it just guarantees the Roshan kill. Again, good heads-up play from Snaking there on the Nature's Prophet. And the Aegis will now be picked up by Yawar. Cheese also on top of that, going to go the way of Viper. And now this is the opening for VGJ.Storm now to perhaps push more into the base here in the near future. I think that's coming along.
I think even though they're up like 11K, I think if they had have gotten that Aegis on the side of Vega, that they'd probably be kind of like winning this game. I would have felt actually better about their chances of VGJ.Storm if they had that Aegis and cheese. So very important that they're able to scoop that one up there from VGJ.Storm. And I still don't even think this game's really that guaranteed. It's a very difficult one to just like march high ground. They need those big pickoffs outside of the map, outside of that high ground base to try and force themselves up there.
Yeah.
Or they have to find that really awkward split push where Snake King just like, you know, has a lane pushing where you're not expecting it from Vega and he just takes the racks.
Bottom lane, Mitch's Prophet, he's trying to find a kill on Rubik, he will. Had to come into BKB for it, but actually now going after Puck. BKB is going to be wearing off the Trolls in the area. Troll figuring it's actually a bad idea. Spirit Vessel's applied, he's going to get 4-staff backwards and going to keep on running under shock. It looks like he's fine also down there, maybe cutting the creep wave. So only ends up being the Rubik kill in the end, but close call on the Troll there. You do not want to lose him, of course.
Yeah, I'm surprised MSS didn't go for that. Very reserved.
Yeah.
Just didn't feel that confident about it. But yeah, if they get a hook shot onto him right there, very dangerous situation.
Troll, by the way, has another 4,300 gold saved up. He actually has a Blink Dagger queued up right now. It's a case of wants to make sure he has enough for a buyback as well. But looks like there you go.
You just want to make use of these items that you've bought, you know? Like sometimes as a Troll, very difficult to get in these fights. I mean, he just got cogged by a Clockwork that, I mean, he was hasted, sure, but like he didn't have to use hookshot. He's just like running up to you and disabling you, and you're like, all right, I just need to actually get into these fights. If they want to come high ground, I want to be able to jump right in the back line, hit that Warlock, and instantly win the fight for my team.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
we'll see how fast SVG is on the Glimmer Cape.
Yeah, that's going to be important.
Players here.
I also noticed the Heaven's Halberd is actually coming up for Clockwork now. He does have it queued up, and again, you're dealing with a Troll who's the overfarmed core on the other side. It makes sense to eventually get an area, maybe not naturally the best building item for this team overall, but Clockwork, he can make it there. He went the Crimson first, which is definitely good against Troll as well, and the Halberd will be next now, but still needs a bit of time before that'll take place.
The seeds of
Yeah,
fortune.
not bad.
By waters
I like the item choice. Personally, it feels like I don't know, when I'm sieging high ground, I just love that 4-staff on Clockwork. I feel like it's so strong. There's so many opportunities to use it aggressively that I thought maybe that's what MSS would still go back for. But no, as you said, the Halberd is mega value this game up against Troll Warlord, especially when they have that BKB still at a pretty high duration.
Yeah.
You can catch him before that thing goes off. You're feeling pretty good.
Vega Squadron. Well, both teams really sticking together as a team. Niche is probably not here, but of course he can TP in if necessary. They've kind of created their own lane right here. On the other side. Look at this, though. Vega's wrapping around us 4. They're baiting with the Troll. Trying to keep them nearby. And it's slowly moving. Obviously going uphill is a little scary. They will make it, though. Meanwhile, you have Jawar pushing the melee rack spot him, so you're going to have to eventually respond. Here we go. The Waning Rip not really hitting anybody. BKB reaction from its illusion. Mystic Flare doing no damage as well as Ike's in trouble. Chaotic offering coming as soon as Troll ran in with the BKB. He has to run away. Was it stolen by Rubik? It looks like it was. Will he get a big one off is a question. There we go. Hits a couple of heroes. Buyback from Puck as well as Trolls. He died off pretty quickly right there. MSS, he's going to be lifted and will be killed off. Doom Effect taking out Viper. Being run down by Blizzing. Yes, Blizzy finishing the job as well. Skywrath ends up falling himself once again. But now Doom, he's in trouble as he's overcommitted. Yawar will be able to take him out. 2 waveform charges picked up mid-fight. And he uses them to take out for the double kill. And buyback on Skywrath, but Puck is staying dead for 100 seconds. The Golem's going at it meanwhile against one another. But this is the point of the game where we just keep hearing that buyback sound pop out. And Snake King, he used his there, takes out melee rack. There's another one. It's just one after the other. Oh, Troll needs to be careful again. That would be a dieback for him. Yoar. He went pretty deep, though. Mystic Flare almost taking him down. It will be enough. However, he had the Aegis. So Skywrath, he committed for the dieback himself. Doom's also in the midst of this. Will be a dieback on him, too. Worlding Access. It's not going to be enough. They take out the Doom. And, no, Palantimos, he could definitely right-click a war, but no, lift it up. He goes down. And that'll be a double kill, and that's the GG well played in favor of VGJ.Storm. So, this game, very, tense, slower game somewhat, and then all of a sudden a huge fight explodes out. And Storm wins it.
Vega rightfully noticed that this game's probably slipping away. They need a big maneuver to try and kind of like open up a big fight, as they knew that VGJ.Storm were going to be coming high ground with that Aegis and Cheese, and it was going to be a tough one, especially with Viper like getting towards that Lincoln Sphere for the Doom. You know, he was such a good Doom target that whole game, but no, nicely done there from the old VGJ.Storm. So still on there, a little bit of a roll here. I think they dropped some matches earlier.
They did,
a look.
yes.
Yeah, so Vega lost 2-0 to LGD, and then VG, of course, defeating the sister squad, VGJ.
That happened earlier today, but right now Storm is up 1-0 against Vega Squadron. So Vega still looking for their first win overall here at the group stages. We'll see. We'll see if they can make it happen in game number 2, or if Storm's going to keep the momentum going and take it 2-0 for themselves. Again, this is a best-of-2 series, so no matter what, only the 2 games, but looking forward to seeing what happens in that second game. Tuning into the MDL major coverage, guys. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Trent. Stay tuned. We'll have game number 2 coming up next.